Studios, and welcome to the Mountain View Championship presented by Emerald City Discs here on Fairway Media. Like I said, I'm Kirby Snyder. Alongside of me is Ryan O'Connor. B, how's it going, man?
I'm doing well. How you been?
Doing good, bud. Excited to get out here. Excited to be doing this with Justin Banks here with Fairway Media. We redid the wonderful South Fork Landing course. We kind of did like an alternate card layout to it. Here on the cards we have
Hotaka, Shima, Carter Ahrens, Kirby, Snyder, and Simmel. Interestingly enough, this entire card was just representing at Worlds.
Yeah, all four of us were in Virginia last week. Here you can see a map of the layout. We're going to be starting on the old, traditional hole 17 for the course. We're going to be moving the tee pad kind of back and to the left. And this is our first look at Hotaka. Looks like he got that a little too flat, kind of bleeding that out on the right. There is an OB line up that whole right side, so you really want to kind of keep it tight to the left and kind of hook in through the trees there.
Yeah, he's going to take a stroke there.
For sure. Cool playing with Carter again. I play with Carter a lot out here. The kid's got so much power, and he's definitely going to show that off a lot today. He is throwing a mixed bag now, so throwing a bunch of different stuff, not the same Lone Star stuff he was throwing. And that looks a little low. What if he gets some good skips? Yeah.
Good skip, yeah.
Should be
help
all
get
right.
it back in bounds.
Yeah. And then I'm up here using a lot of chalk today. It's humid all weekend, so you're going to see me pushing out a lot of chalk clouds pretty much all day.
We did have some beautiful weather out there all weekend. It was 82 to 86 degrees.
For sure. This is a S-Line PD2. I'm trying to wrap it around that tree there, and I went way deeper than I meant to, and I'm kind of finding the back side of that peninsula. And then for Ko here, Ko's, I believe he's also throwing a Cloud Breaker. He throws a lot of Discmania, so it was cool kind of seeing his bag, throughout the day.
Looks like he took that inside line.
Yeah, a little too tight, I think.
Thank you, Chris May, for your sponsorship.
So we kind of figured out this is about where Hotaka went out. And from here, it's going to be pretty routine, up and down. I want to say he's probably maybe a little over 225 feet, maybe 235 feet, somewhere in that range. Ko looks to be a little early left.
Get up and down first three.
A nice chippy little hyzer. That was good for him. Carter's just a little ahead of him.
Smart play. That elevated basket, I never try to run it from there.
Yeah, honestly, on hole one, from that distance, to take an easy par, you might as well. In my mind, unless I'm within, 20, 25 feet maybe, is probably when I'll run that putt. But anything outside of that is very dangerous. Hotaka's kind of forced to run that putt, maybe a little longer than he'd be comfortable with. But putting for bogey, at that point, you kind of have to make something happen. You see Ko even at 10, 12 feet there. I mean, that's still kind of a nervy putt with how high up it is.
Oh yeah, I've had a disc hit the basket and roll down that trunk and take off 30, 40 feet away. That's a good putt.
Yeah, good comebacker. Nice job, Hotaka. It was cool playing with him. I haven't had a chance to play with Hotaka before, but I've played with Ko and Carter in the past, and Hotaka's got a really nice style. We didn't see. I also laid up, just for the easy par, because like I said, anything outside of 20, 25 feet is just way too far. So
all right, moving to hole 2. Hole 2 is a traditional hole 18, but there's a nice hazard in the middle, right about, I'd say about 310 to 315 feet right by that tree on the left. You're going to see a large hazard, which is right where a lot of players will throw their drive.
Here's Carter. I think Carter's throwing a destroyer here. Just absolutely launching it. He will be slightly deep of the pin and right of it, I think. Awesome. I'm throwing one of the new Gannon Burr Cloud Breakers, one of the new glow ones. I like them. They're pretty flippy. I definitely missed a little on the right. You can see I wasn't feeling that, but got lucky enough.
That stabled up at the end there.
Yeah, they got a little turn to them, but they're still dumpy in the end, which is
You look
cool.
about pin high.
Yeah, should be pretty good. Going back to that Horizon Cloud Breaker he was throwing before. Good backhand from Ko. Yeah, when I was designing this whole, this with the traditional hole 18 here, a lot of the power throwers, a lot of like the longer like MA1 and MA2 players, that tree on the left is kind of where a lot of the drives will kind of bleed into and then kind of drop into the bowl. So I wanted to give players something else to think about, maybe kind of force them to kind of push their disc a little left or push their disc a little right, maybe try to push a little distance that they didn't want
That was
to.
a great shot.
Great shot. Yeah, I think he's going to be a little short of the pin there, but
Yeah, looking at a putt
for sure. Yeah, I wanted some of the other divisions to have to make a decision about having to throw short and then throwing over hazard and stuff like that, and just give players like one additional thing to think about.
Yeah, I play MA3, and all three of the other opponents or players that were with me all hit right before that bowl, just to the left. We're all throwing from the left side of that tree, so we all almost bled into that bowl and took the stroke, but we got lucky. So
yeah, just one more thing to think about for sure. Oh, nice run from Hotaka. This is definitely a bonus birdie to get. It's just so far, and like we said, the shape of the shot with the hazard there, and trying to avoid the hazard. It's a tough birdie to get.
ooh, it's always good to get a birdie on 18 or hole 2 here.
Yeah. And 3 out of 4 basket hits for birdie though is honestly still pretty good. I don't know that too many other cards are gonna have 3 out of 4
Not at
or
all.
4 out of 4 people all putting for birdie. So yeah, I think the theme of this course is going to be hold on for the first like 6 holes or so, and then get really aggressive after that and start to score. On the backside. Hole 3 here is going to be on the left side of that little house there, and we're going to be throwing to the traditional hole 15's basket. Carter going with a Buzz OS forehand and clipping the rhododendron there, but still getting it like most of the way up. I'm going back to that swirly S-line PD2, and I'm going to try to throw like a big flexy forehand here.
Okay, yeah, that's nice and stable.
Yeah, that's the exact line I'm trying to make. Kind of starting it on the right side of the gap that you're trying to hit there, and then letting it kind of bleed left. I think Ko's throwing a razor claw. I've seen other players, they're just throwing like really straight to like kind of flippy like backhands at it, which I thought was a really, really nice play. I think with that, you're kind of pushing the ceiling a little too much for my own comfort.
Right. Yeah, I threw a trail there. It's real straight. I was aiming for that tree on the left right there, and it got a little turn and kind of sat right there. Had a birdie putt, but again, hit the tree and rolled away.
Yeah. Yeah, see Hotaka went with the backhand there, and that was kind of the common miss I saw with the backhand, is you'd go with something maybe a little too flippy, and kind of like bleed it out to the right, get a little overturn.
Yeah. There's the largest gap over there for the putt, though.
Yeah.
These trees are oddly in the way a lot of the time.
Yeah, they're probably, what do you think, like a doorway and a half or so?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Hotaka got pretty far up there looking at this birdie putt.
There it is.
Yeah. I like his putt a lot. It's really spinny. It's really, really crisp and clean. If you watch it out of his hand, it's got very minimal wobble. I think it's really nice.
Nice. Got one of those strokes back from hole 1.
Got myself a little straddler here.
There you go.
Yeah. Getting on the scoreboard, not too bad. Like I said, I think any of the front 6, if you're birdieing any of those, you're gaining some kind of advantage. Because yeah, that's definitely the hardest part, is that front third. Everyone kind of just cleaning up their pars here.
Nice thing to have when you're putting from the outside is that big trunk in the back of that old tree. You can pretty much run anything long and know that's going to hit that and kind of bounce back towards the basket. Hole 4. Hole 4 is an interesting one. This gap is squirrely. I kind of took the same route you did with that little forehand there, and I landed in the same spot. Yeah, a little bit low.
Yeah, it's tough because it's uphill. This isn't necessarily a very long hole. See Hotaka kind of hitting the tree. He had a nice little kick out to the left though. From there, you should be able to see the pin. Yeah, this is one that the distance isn't the issue here at all. It really is just about getting it through the gap. Yeah. When Ko walked away from that shot, I was just like, "Are you going inside?" He goes, "Oh no." I was like, "Nice." I think it worked out pretty well for him. It looked like he got pretty far up there, which is cool. Carter going for the more unconventional overhand play.
Little thumber. I played a practice round with him the day before. I was putting signage out and ran into him and Chuck, and he's like, "I'm just throwing a thumber here." I'm like, "Really?" And I was like, and then he did it, during the practice round, and I apparently did it right there, and it worked both times. So just getting up and through.
Yeah. Yeah, that there for the approach was a splice, pretty much the most over thing that I have in my bag. Yeah, just want to try to get it out and then let it hit the ground and kind of move to the right, and looks like he did all right there.
Yeah.
Ko did get pretty far up here.
Yeah, you had to look at it.
Yeah, honestly, that's a decent bid. I think from that far, you are kind of just putting the disc up in the air.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a ceiling there too with those trees. So
Carter with this C2 look. Nice. Should be routine pars, for everybody the rest of the way. This next hole is one that I was very particularly excited about as we get into it. I spent a good amount of time developing this layout and this course. I started it in January, and this was the second event that we have ran this layout for.
Yep.
The first event was a Legend of the Log Lady, and that I think was so beneficial for us because we really learned how some people were attacking holes and where
to put the Mandos.
Yeah, and where we needed to shore stuff up for sure. Like this next hole. So this is what hole 5. Everyone just calls it the water carry. There's 2 lines, and you can kind of throw like a putter out to the right and then throw another putter at the pin, or you can kind of do what I'm doing, and I'm going up top through the field goal there with something pretty overstable. And I'm going to fall left pretty good. I'm almost pin deep and left, which is really nice just to kind of be safe over there.
Yeah, there's a peninsula to the right of that tree right there. It jets out about 30 or 40 feet right where he's putting it. And it's a nice little chip up across the water. Yeah,
that's a great spot.
That's a great spot, yeah. Because you have an easy look at it. There's a lot. And if you throw it to the left of the tree, it's kind of like a little ceiling there you have to deal with.
Look at my belly on the right. Jeez.
Hey.
Time to hit the gym, bud.
Time to hit the gym, bud.
Carter throws this amazing shot. This is the force that he's throwing, and he's kind of just cranking over on it. And this really, when I saw him do that, and I was like, that's the best line, I think, is to, if you're going to try to push it and you have the power to throw that high.
You're the only person I've seen go there.
Is to throw,
everybody
throw a straight disc that rides and then wants to fade out. And you could probably put one within the circle, I think, pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were fortunate that on the last day of the event, Ryan showed up, and Ryan's a local diver who came out and cleaned up all the discs out of the water for us.
He got 2 back for me.
Yeah, super nice guy.
That guy was awesome.
Yeah, I've got his phone number for future events. If anyone's missing their discs, we know a guy.
Yeah.
So
I have a bag I need to reach out to people for, so expect a text soon. So, yeah, like I said, I got pin deep, just kind of far over to the left, and this is one of those putts where you kind of throw it up in the air and hope for something cool. And
something cool. Let's go.
Something cool. Yeah. So that felt
Run
good.
it in.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
You're gaining strokes on people all day there.
Yeah, that was definitely... That's a big birdie to get, I think. Like I said, I think this is one that a lot of the field will just play for par.
Good
putt. That was
a great putt.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of the field's just going to play for par and then just be totally okay with it. You can see Carter looking up. His disc actually got caught in that tree and just rested beautifully, probably about 40 feet above where he's standing right now.
Did that go in the water?
I think it's right on the edge. I think he was safe though.
Okay.
Those ferns over there are pretty tall.
Yeah. Some of those reeds really hold up.
If you're coming in slow, like with a putt, they will kind of they'll stop you.
Ooh, top band.
Yeah. It was a little low before. It's a little high now. It's just dialing it down, right? Co with the bogey. Carter with the par.
A way to get a stroke on the card, Curb.
Thanks, man.
We're going to hole 6. Hole 6, yes. So this is a great one because there's a mando between those two trees. You got to get over that log. At the ledge of the log lady, you were very close to the log where the tee pad was, where you would almost hit the log every time. But you really kind of want to do what you're doing is throwing something out and over and getting right over there. Hey, Ollie, I see you out there, buds.
Yeah, I was definitely hoping for that disc to flip up and kind of ride a little more. That's the miss that I was kind of planning on making. With that, if I throw this and I just let it hyzer out, it'll be out to the left, and I should be, pin deep or really the thing.
That's it right there.
Oh yeah. For me, the thing was just trying to avoid the water on the right and not let something turn over too much. Great shot from Hotaka. That was great. Carter going with the forehand here. He's known for having a really big backhand. And I mean, people don't know that he can throw a forehand, but I mean, the guy can throw it for sure. And I think that skipped up into the water. Ko does have a very good forehand. I think Ko's forehand is stronger than his backhand. And this is looking...
That's sweet. Skirt!
Dude just absolutely
parked it. Yeah.
408 feet, and he just throws it on like a frozen rope. That was so impressive. Yeah, like I said, the miss here for me is just kind of bleed it out left, go too stable with it. So...
That's smart.
Yeah.
Take a par.
Just kind of throw a little jump putter at her.
I'm going to have to go to Japan and hang out with Ko, but he said he play a little disc golf with us if we get out to Japan, so give me some lessons on forehand. Oh, good sit. Where are you going? There you go.
Nice run from that distance for Carter, though. Hotaka, pin deep, just a little left. I did see a lot of players this weekend overturning their drive and putting it in the water. I didn't see very many people missing the Mando because it was pretty generous. But that water on the right, I think, just was enough and was just close enough that it really made people kind of think about it, maybe just like a little afraid of it.
And usually it's not in play unless you're playing traditional hole 10 or hole 14 on the classic layout. Sending it over, having disc run towards the OB doesn't really happen at this course usually. So I think it was a good design utilizing the water.
Thanks. Hole 7. One of my favorite holes on the course. This is a traditional hole 11 tee pad to traditional hole 12. Thank you to all the sponsors.
Box Squad,
Cravo Organics. This is a nice par 4. There is an OB line on the left, kind of by the tree that you can kind of almost see over there to the left. I'm throwing an MD4, just like a straight to overstable mid, because I want to kind of throw like a bad shot at hole 11's pin. That one rode a little too straight, but did kind of get left at the end there. What's nice about this one is after you bend this corner here, you're going to want to throw like another shot, like straight with a little turn, or maybe a forehand up to the pin. Carter's choosing to go with another, I think, forehand destroyer here. And nice turn.
Smash. Get around it.
Nice and overstable. Yeah,
that's a great shot.
That's a sick line. I think a lot of players chose not to throw that because it seemed like a little riskier.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just kind of throwing the backhand hyzer.
Yeah.
It was a lot more routine throw.
The youth of today don't care.
Yeah. No. Yeah, so I'm not in a great position. Trying to get up and down, and just threw that a little too low, a little too soft. If I'm going to throw that shot, I need to like hammer on it. Hotaka was out of bounds over there to the left. So he's throwing a mutant, which are very, very overstable. Throwing that on a forehand, trying to make it up and down. And then Carter is way up here. I believe this is a Big Z Luna that he's been throwing.
A little eagle look.
think with that tree, the way that tree was kind of just in front of the pin, I think if he's 10 feet left or right, yeah, he's running eagle for sure. So,
but tapping birdie. It's a lot of chalk there.
yeah, rainy day chalk bags.
Let's go. Sponsor.
Long putt. This one does feel like one of the easier holes on the course. Like I said, once you get through hole 6, this is where you really got to start to score and start to get aggressive and not miss too many holes. Yeah, out of the hand, I knew that had no chance. Hotaka to salvage his par. In the heart.
It's a solid par.
Yeah, really, really good putt. Nice birdie for Ko. Yeah, Ko played that hole, I think, exactly as you should. Just backhand chip up, and then you should be good. And then, yeah.
Carter finishes his birdie.
Sick birdie for Carter.
Easy birdies.
Yeah.
We don't see many of those in MA3. So traditional, so hole 8. Hole 8 is traditional hole 3. There is a sand trap out there. The bunker in the middle is a hazard. But you got a gap right in front of you to hit, and then you want something to turn over a little bit towards the right. We had an ace on this hole in the second round, which was pretty cool because it's kind of a fun little shot.
Yeah, shout out to Yoni. Ko, I think he's going back to the cloud breaker there. It's just like a little short, which is all right. Most MPO players are just throwing like a forehand through here. I have seen a lot of amateur players and a lot of like your MA2 or MA3 crowd kind of just throw like a hyzer out on the right. Absolutely pinned from Carter. Love that. Yeah, a lot of players who are kind of more afraid to just throw through the middle there will just kind of put one out on the right side.
Yeah, we're afraid to hit the tree. That's why.
Yeah. This is the problem that I have. All right, the mistake. The mistake that I make with this hole, like kind of frequently, is I just kind of like juice that PD2 over a little too much and kind of just don't hit the perfect angle.
Too much beef, bro.
Yeah, just
too much muscle.
Forehand's not my best shot, and Hotaka with another nice forehand. So, like I said, most MPO players are just throwing forehands at it.
Smart play.
Yeah.
Take your par.
Can't even see the basket at that point. So, yeah, Ko, little right, little short, and a little low on the putt as well.
It's a bad break.
Yeah, we
circle.
This card did not make this hole look nearly as easy as it actually is. So, I want to say this had to have averaged as one of the easiest holes of the day. Definitely a top 4 easiest hole on the course at the moment. So, yeah, kind of a miss.
That's why we play 2 rounds.
But beautiful drive by Carter. Yeah, awesome. Hole 9 here. This is going to be the traditional hole 4. It's got a triple mando. You have to be in between and under the banner that we have there. You just see how gorgeous of a day it is. You see that banner is not really waving at all. We just had beautiful weather. No reason, honestly, for us all not to be scoring here. Carter going with that. I think that's that Big Z Luna again. So he looks like absolutely pinned. I'm not sure. Oh, Ko's throwing a PA3, I believe it is.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of pushing the ceiling a little bit. Pretty straight. A little deep, but that should be good. I think this is my P2. Yeah, I'm throwing a P2 here. Just trying to keep it low. Trying to throw it like flat to a little hyzer. And then I'm not sure what Hotaka's throwing.
Looks like that mutant again.
It might be the mutant. That's really
Oh, let's put it in.
Yeah, that might be the mutant. Good call. Yeah.
Yeah. Same color, same stamp.
Yeah. Let's see. Shout out Chuck. What up, Chuck? Ko's the furthest out. Nice hit. If hole 3 is, or hole 8 is, one of the top 4 easiest holes, this has got to be one of the top 2 easiest holes.
If not the easiest hole. As
Yeah.
long as you make the Mando, you're fine.
Yeah, it's right there. I mean, it's what, 220.
But if you don't make the Mando,
Yeah.
there's that. You
Yeah.
see a lot of that in MA3, MA4. People just going a little right of the Mando and having it putt from the zone.
Yeah. I see a lot of players that will go just short of the Mando, and then they're throwing like forehand cut rollers like back around the Mando, hoping that kind of curls up around the pin. Yeah. So looks like we're gonna have a star frame. Yeah.
We need fancy music for star frames, right?
Yeah.
Banksy needs to work on that. And now we're looking at hole 10, which is traditional hole 5. This is a straightforward shot. It's a bomber shot if you can get all the way out there. It's a 429-foot shot. Oh, look at those scores. People out there tearing it up.
Yeah, Colin Bryant looking like he's putting together a really hot round so far. Watch the shot from Carter. This is one of the more impressive shots I've ever seen here. The kid just throws it on hyzer the whole freaking way.
And he made it around the tree.
And he's pinned. It's gross. If you didn't realize, like, there's levels to this game, and Carter's on a different one.
Sure.
It's interesting to watch the practice round with Carter the day before when I was throwing with him and Chuck, and he tried 6 or 7 different shots there, and he's like, I'm just trying to go around that tree. And I was like, you're going around that tree?
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it at 60 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like the entire way on a hyzer. I was like, come on, I'm throwing it not like that, but flat like that.
Yeah. I think what's most impressive is he is just doing it on hyzer, because wrapping around the tree I think is kind of the play for a lot of players, but to do it like flipping up or riding straight and then to kind of bank left after that, where he's just riding the hyzer the whole way, which is it's different level for sure.
And you can tell by those branches there, they've been hit 100 times, like it's definitely taking abuse out there.
Yeah, for sure. So, kind of far to the right and a little short. I want to say I'm, probably C2 or so, maybe deep C2. Yeah, kind of not really giving it a run / kind of just trying to get it close, I guess.
Take the par and walk away.
Yeah. I really liked, we'll see where Ko is in a second. His forehand got like way further up there than we thought.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I think he hit the ground and kind of like cut rolled or something away. But I saw him do that round 2 as well, and he got like he was putting for birdie round 2 with that forehand on the right side. You just don't see that.
No.
But yeah, this is how amazing Carter's drive was, is he's this close.
There it is.
Yeah. One of only 9 birdies for round 1. Pretty good.
Wow.
Do that little like kind of flamingo thing. I haven't watched too many rounds of myself this year. That little flamingo thing, I think I'm so nervous to like actually putt from that distance that I just that little flamingo thing kind of gives me just like, I can just like swing my wrist at it kind of thing. And
right. So hole 11.
Yeah, hole 11 is going to be traditional hole 6 for the course. This is a good hole. There's usually like a good amount of scoring variety for it, but for MPO, we do feel like we have to score. Carter going back to that Buzz OS and putting it pretty far out to the left. No, going back to that horizon.
That's more what you want to see.
Yeah.
Digging it in there, getting by the basket.
I've seen you before.
Yeah, I think he got it through the double Mando there. It's not really a Mando, but it's kind of the jokey Mando. Yeah, it definitely was inside with it. That's back to that swirly PD2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little too right, a little too inside. Hotaka.
Looks like he's going a little long with it. He's on the backside. He's got to look at it.
I like the backside of this pin better, honestly. I think the putt's more open.
Okay. Yep.
You see,
Yeah.
He's got a low canopy, but he's got a
straight shot at it.
Yeah, not too much stuff in his way.
And these little trees are the problem when you get in there.
Yeah. Yeah, from the front of it, it looks like total jail, and from the back side, you do have, bigger windows and some windows. Carter a little bit too much on the left side.
Wow.
Good run at it, though.
Yeah, it would have been sick.
Good.
Nice birdie. That's a really common landing zone you see with people that are trying to kind of go in that doorway. Is one of those trees will kind of just catch you every time. This is one of the trickier putts. I'm basically stretched out as far as I can and trying to putt on a pretty steep hyzer.
That's why you should become a member.
And that is why you should become a member. Good call, Banksy. Nice pickup for the par for Carter. Should be pretty routine for the rest of these players from here.
Clean up the par.
No problem. On some of these holes, it is disappointing to get pars, but yeah, you're fine if you're not bogeying. So
hole 12's a long par 4. There's a Mando tree on the right there. You're gonna basically just want to throw it out as far as you can towards the Mando, and hopefully you can hook past the first line of trees there. Looks like you turned that over just a little bit, but it's fading back.
I actually think for this hole, you're more benefited with trying to wrap the Mando tight than you are trying to necessarily push like the distance.
Right.
'Cause if you can get really close to that second row of trees, the approach shot becomes really, really easy on this one. Carter's gonna go with like a flippy backhand. I don't know if he was trying to. It looked like he was trying to get that down on roller. It looked like it took a little too long to come down, and then that cut left is fine. He's nowhere dangerous, but this is gonna be one of the few like power forehands that you see out of me. And honestly, I just want people to know that I can keep that thing on me. No big deal.
There it is.
Not even that far. What are you talking about, kid? But it did beat the Mando, and
you got a shot from there.
Fine.
I do like. Oh,
yeah. I love the roller play here. I think if you get this down, that was kind of on a bit of a tough angle, kind of cutting left like that.
There's also a little hill there, which is kind of fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you get the roller down in the right angle, you can bust through that row of trees and get pretty pretty close to the pin. I do think the roller is the ideal play.
It's got a good shot at it. It's low ceiling, but if you can throw a laser beam there, there you go. Little course maintenance there.
Catches some of the foliage. That's why I like this hole. Is you really got to try to get down. I'm gonna do a lot of the same thing. Not loving that. Another one. This is getting a par here in MPO does kind of feel like you missed one because this hole feels so attackable. It's just two, I would say, B minus shots.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do anything like.
Yeah, it's all about
overly
placement
aggressive.
though.
Yeah.
On my MA3 card in the final round, we all got pars, and we're like MA3 birdie. Like
Everybody felt good about it.
Everyone felt good about it. Yeah. And we're all like, nice job, guys.
But if you had a pretty good drive, you could put yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, I could probably birdie this.
Yeah.
You
And a couple of us had birdies from middle circle too, but that canopy really makes it hard to get a clean shot off.
Yeah. Nice long putt for Ko. Was close. Nice putt. That looked probably about 25, 28 feet or so from Carter. That was nice. This is one of the baskets that we brought out. We brought out 2 additional baskets for this alternate layout.
Old school Mach 2 right there.
Old school, for sure. Getting the par. Kind of a sweaty back. It's a hot day.
Yeah, and you guys played in the morning, which, getting towards the afternoons when the sun's hottest out here, when we were playing MA2, MA3, MA4, it was blistering at times, and the wind did pick up towards the later part of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, hanging out at the Tournament Central all day was definitely getting toasty towards the later parts. Another new hole, something we completely created. This is about 350 feet or so. I think it's a little shorter than that, actually. Straight through, the basket is kind of up on that elevated platform. Saw people taking all kinds of different lines here. Carter going with like the straight to overstable. It looks like a mid or maybe a fairway. Ko going with a forehand here. I saw a lot of people throwing just like straight hyzer flips. People throwing like the Anheuser flex like overstable backhand. So
I threw a roller.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I threw the gap on the left there, and it turned over, and I had a pretty good putt from the wrong side of that bush on the right there. But there's some holes in the bush, and he kind of like just flopped it up there.
Yeah. That's what I like about this basket placement is it really stresses putting from the left side.
Yes.
If you do happen to bleed something over, or if you're trying to be kind of cheeky and throw like a hyzer on the right side, it doesn't leave. It's a pretty good jail. It doesn't leave much to putt with.
No.
Ko just looking to make it up and down. That's fine. I think from that platform or from that wall there, it's probably only 22 feet or so, you think?
Yeah, it's very gettable.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a great shot.
Yeah. I like that nose up ride. That was cool.
Giving it a solid bid?
If it looks like it, then yeah. Sure.
It looked intentional.
Yeah. This is one of the drives, like this is kind of the ideal landing zone I think for this shot, is to kind of get yourself this like 20-25 footer, slightly uphill. That's what I like about it, is that's not a too difficult of a shot to achieve. That's not too difficult of a putt to achieve, but you got to get out and you got to do them, So Ko putting from about a similar distance. Nice hit for him. And then Hotaka and I will just be tapping out our pars.
Hole 14. 14's a short one. It's a little ace one. I actually watched Carter ace that the day before in a practice round, which is pretty fun. He's really enjoying his new mixed bag. This is a straight shot. Just to the left there, the basket placement's a little downhill. There is OB left and right. So if you kick left or fade down left, you're going to find yourself taking strokes.
Yeah, I think this hole plays really well to like a straight putter or a straight mid. It being kind of like down in the bowl there and that OB on the left side is just kind of enough to get players to kind of think about it. Ko looks like he just threw a little too much hyzer and didn't hit that as flat as he wanted to, and I think he bled over OB over there. I was trying to be a little too safe and try to get that a little too much to the right, and ended up kind of getting it up.
Hey, puppies.
Yeah. These dogs are like, why are you playing with our toys? Hotaka looks like he's going back to that mutant maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he cranked over on that thing.
That was fun. Interesting that it didn't come back more.
Yeah, it kind of just dropped.
Yeah.
But this is, like I said, the scoring portion of the course. This is the part of the course where, you want to attack, but you cannot be bleeding bogeys at this point either, so.
What a putt.
Yeah.
What a putt.
Big putt.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, he did bleed out of bounds over there, so that was for par, but that was huge.
Yeah.
Big hit.
Go with the big one.
It's a nervy putt. That out of bounds behind it does kind of catch up to you really quickly.
Carter adding to his lead there.
That had to have been about circle's edge, maybe touching circle 2.
Yeah, he looked back at it too. It's like, that was kind of fun.
Well, it was pretty far.
You're definitely a flamingo, bro.
Back to the little flamingo thing. That's fine.
I like it.
Yeah.
Everyone has their thing. Seems to be working.
Honestly, I do think it helps me with like those like short little 10 to 12 years or so.
It's good balance, man. All right. So we're looking at hole 15, which is traditional hole 8. We've tucked the pad left. You've got a Mando on the end tree there, and you're going to want to throw something like that. Something that's going to be either low or high hyzer, and then hopefully get around and up through the trees.
Yeah, there's a OB on the left side the entire way. So Ko's play there is really safe, kind of just getting out into the fairway. He's pretty far away from getting a birdie there, but shouldn't be anything wrong with that. I found personally that the best line for me was to go up top here, hit that like flat to hyzer, and kind of try to wrap around like the tall bushy guy.
Lost it.
And yeah, hope to kind of crash in like over the trees and through the trees. You see, after I threw that, I looked at Ko and I was like, "Is that anywhere good?" And he's like, "Oh, we'll find out when we get up there."
Hotaka had the same idea.
Yeah, I like his line a lot. You can see that kind of get left. So if you do get, I mean, you don't even have to get like super lucky to give yourself a edge of circle or inside of the circle kind of putt. So Carter was just like a little low and a little inside. I think if he's like 10 feet wider, I think he gets a little more skip action just closer to the basket.
Right.
I didn't push my drive out far enough. A little low on the putt too. Yeah, if I push that drive out a little further and I still crash in the same way, I think I'm where Hotaka is, and maybe even a little closer.
There it is.
Yeah, good birdie putt.
Great drive.
Pretty sure him and Ko both putt with rainmakers.
Okay. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Everyone kind of just cleaning up a little bit here. I think Carter's back to putting with Wardens or Agents, I think it is. Yeah, Agents. Hole 16 here. This is traditional hole 9. This is one of those holes that we decided not to change because if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of situation. Low ceiling right off the tee. You're looking at about 345 feet or so. And right next to the basket, just to the left and around it, is a hazard bunker, which
comes into play often.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary off the tee. It's scary on the putt.
Yeah.
This is one of the good ones out here for sure.
Yeah, and you even have the OB in the parking lot, which apparently tons of people like to throw it over there. So
yeah. I mean, when you're trying to keep it out to the right, it's easy to kind of flip one over. Just got to sit down.
Ooh.
Yeah,
there it is.
Just kind of bled out into the hazard. That's kind of one of the common plays, though, is you're trying to tuck it so close to the pin that you kind of just end up bleeding right over into it.
Yeah.
He should have a pretty easy cleanup for par.
Yeah.
So, Ko going a little high, kind of dancing with the branches a little bit, but that looks like that's also in a pretty good spot. I'm going with an MD4 here. I love throwing the MD4 here. I feel like I can just kind of like hit it on like flat to like a little bit of hyzer, and it doesn't really go too far. This one
a little nose up.
really didn't go anywhere, so this is an easy decision just to kind of lay this one up.
Even a layup skips out sometimes. So
Yeah, and depending, I mean, I try to be pretty generous with that line, just trying to wrap it around what I believe is actually the sand bunker.
Oh, let's go.
Snuck itself in.
There you go.
Look at him. He's like, no way. But yeah, depending on, where that line is, like this hole can be absolutely brutal at times.
Yeah.
So I think Carter's probably only 15 feet, maybe 18 feet. Nice cleanup.
There it is. Got Caleb Joyner in the background there with Ali DePina.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got back there?
Ollie with his big pink box wad shirt.
Bucket hat, keeping the sun off him.
Nice birdie for Ko.
There you go.
And flamingo.
See, I'm getting you a flamingo shirt.
It's funny. Yeah.
All right, so it's hole 17 is basically from traditional hole 10's basket or hole 10's tee to one's basket. It's a Mando on that big tree right there. You need to throw a huge turnover, just like Hotaka is doing, and you're gonna see that elevated basket on the right-hand side. Most people I saw throw forehands and overstapled discs over there. I went with the turnover, and it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I would say forehand kind of spike hyzer is one of the more common plays here. Someone told me that this hole they like this hole because it is borderline a trick shot, and I don't know, after playing it a bunch, I was like, I kind of love that. It is short. It's 200 feet, a little less than 200 feet, but it is a pretty sharp left to right turn. And
I think every good disc golf course should have every shot in the basket. Like you need to be able to figure out different ways of throwing, and not everything shouldn't just be a hyzer flip or a spike hyzer.
nothing too straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for this one, the most difficult thing for me is the distance control on it. The shape of going left to right like that isn't necessarily hard, but really being able to dial that down at 200 feet, I think is really challenging. And this is a great basket placement. This tree here on the right definitely offers a lot of coverage and a lot of jail, and protects the basket pretty well. Nice putt for Carter. Yeah, it protects the basket really well. And that little bit of hill, like if you do hit low, you're probably going to roll to another 20, 25 feet and have another obstructed putt. So,
Ooh.
Ko just splashing out left for birdie. It's a cool camera angle. Nice job, Banks. I got this like little twiggly guy kind of right up in my way.
Ain't no thing.
Yeah, kind of dance with the tips and then get through. I had some people over. I think that was McGlinchey over on hole 1. Shout out McGlinchey. Hotaka for his par. And Ko for par. All right, on to hole 18. Hole 18 here is traditional hole 2 for the course. If you've seen any picture or anything of this course, you've seen this basket in the tree. Nice job, Banks. Always great having Banksy out there with us for the day.
You're here too,
Chuck. Nice. Yeah, this is the kind of the signature hole of this course. The basket is going to be straight through the tree line and up in the tree down there about 440 feet or so. Carter going with a backhand, just a little low, kind of getting some skip up. I did create an out of bounds line on the right side, and that was to kind of prevent people from going to like that straight flippy backhand.
Going roller. I like it.
Yeah, this is my Nido King DD3, and I was really, really happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. That'll do.
Yeah.
Kirby Snyder.
Yeah, show me that one.
Yeah, that DD3 is sick.
That was a DD3.
That was a DD3. Yeah, they're not. That one's pretty flippy, but it's nice to get down on a good roller angle. Looked like Hotaka was also going for the low.
What a great
shot. Yeah.
Skip.
Yeah, that was
best case scenario.
Worked out pretty well for him for sure. Ko with the forehand, just getting it up. That's honestly what's so difficult about this hole is you're trying to bust off 440 feet, but you're trying to do it head height. Maybe a little lower the whole
9
way.
9 feet the whole way.
Yeah, it's such a tough line to ride. Carter went a little deep.
Little backside putt. That's open over there.
Another reason why this hole is so difficult is if you're not directly in front of or directly behind this basket,
those trees,
it's impossible to putt on.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it's really wide from the side too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could be 15 feet away from the basket and not see it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So
it is such a beautiful pin position.
Yeah, like I said, absolutely iconic for this course. Hotaka. Running that long putt.
Good little sit.
Yeah.
A lot of rollaways happen off that.
Yeah.
Way to pick up the 2.
Yeah. Needed to salvage that. Honestly, I wasn't I didn't bogey it all today, but I wasn't satisfied with the amount of pars that I was taking, so there definitely was a little desperation on those last 2 holes. So Carter with the long, like we were saying, you know, this hole's so hard if you're not directly behind of or directly in front of it.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, didn't sit.
No, it looks like he. That's the thing we were saying. You know, if you do hit low on that, you're probably more likely going to roll away than not. So this is now for 4. Yeah, and from that far over on that side, he can't. I mean, he can barely see the chains. So tough way to finish the round. He was, you know, definitely putting a good one together for a while there for sure.
That was a very entertaining round.
Yeah, thank you, Banksy, for having us. Brian, thanks for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, do all the stuff.
Yeah, if you're in the neighborhood, check out Emerald City Discs.
Or emeraldcitydiscs.com.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot more time
Yeah.
of stuff, but I was like, we already done talking. Like at that point, don't say anything else. Totally.